Impacted! We are impacted! Impacted! We're ready to get up. We want to win. Light the fire of power that make us free. We never break down. We want to win. We are impacted. The best team.
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted, episode 123, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. And if you listen on the go, then we're also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and wherever you listen to your favourite shows, we are there. I am your host, Bison, and today I am joined by, well, the host, I guess, of the TNI-US team himself, the Bone Daddy, J Bone.
J to the A to the Y to the bone. Yes, sirree. We are here today.
And it looks very bright over there, Jay. You look a bit like Seamus.
I'm doing my look. I know it's like way before Halloween, but we got so much natural light coming in here. I'm actually doing my best Seamus. So hopefully I fit in with the whole UK thing. He's from the UK, isn't he, or something?
Seamus, he's Scottish, isn't he? Old Seamus.
Okay.
No, sorry, one way. He's Irish. He's Irish.
Okay. Close enough. Something. I was horrible at geometry, so yeah.
Well, there you go. I am absolutely full of cold, Jay. I'm full of cold. I'm not had. I think it's just that time of year for us over here. I seem to be like either sniffing or coughing or something constantly for weeks on end at the moment. It just doesn't seem to go. It just keeps coming back. So if I sound a bit bunged up, guys, that's probably what it is. And every now and again, you're probably going to hear me go, and I'm sure you don't want to hear that. But unfortunately, there is nothing I can do about it this week. I'm a little bit bunged up and a little bit snivelly. So just bear with me. I will do my best to hold it back as best I can.
We're gonna get through it. It's all good.
We're going to get through it. We're going to get through this.
Hit the sauna after the show and drink some nice hot herbal tea afterwards with honey.
There you go. There you go.
I'll wipe it right out.
Now, guys, make sure if you're new to the channel and you like what you see so far, then consider smashing that subscribe button and, of course, giving us a big thumbs up. That's important. And if you'd like to show your appreciation with the old super sticker or whatever it is that they call it, then that would, of course, be much appreciated and, of course, helps provide you guys with as much content each week as we possibly can. Because we spend a lot of time behind the scenes getting this sort of stuff ready for you guys, and we appreciate you joining us each and every week for these shows as well, and contributing in the chat. That's one of the most important things, because this show isn't as good as it is without you guys giving us your feedback. So that's really important. So make sure you do that. So Jay, let's have a little chat. Let's take on the look at the news, the rumors, and of course the Impact recap of the week. And interestingly enough, friend of the show Becca is currently touring in the UK, and tonight is performing at Eve. Funny enough, over here in the UK in London. So just want to wish Becca all the best in her match later on tonight. And it's great to have her here. I have been talking to her, so you never know. She might make an appearance next week, but we'll have to wait and see.
Tremendous. I was going to say, you interviewed her, what, a few months back or something like that?
Yeah, it was. It must have been about halfway through last year, I guess. Yeah, she was here in the UK.
It's all blurry, but yeah, okay. So yeah, make sure if you're a fan of Becca and of course a fan of the show, make sure you go back in the the older vids and go check that stuff out if you missed it.
She's fantastic, and I have to say, she is one to watch for the future. She's getting more and more and more interest and shows, and she's getting booked so much now in the US and, of course, in Europe and the UK. She was only in Germany last week, so she's all over the place. So she's definitely one to watch for the future, and I'm sure some of the top talent scouts out there are definitely keeping their eye on her and seeing where she's going. But trust me, she is one to watch. I'm extremely excited about this one, but you never know. She might be on next week, so bear with us. Now, I also wanted to get this one out of the way fairly early as well. Happy birthday, of course, to the Designs leader, Cody Diener. That was his birthday this week. And, of course, friend of the show, Crazy Steve. It was his birthday this week as well. So happy birthday, guys. We appreciate you. So many happy returns there.
Happy birthday.
Definitely. Right, okay, so there's something else I just need to quickly do because I can't see it. I can't see if anyone's in the chat at the moment. Have we got anyone in at the minute?
Oh, yeah, they're there.
Nothing's coming up. Nothing's coming up for me.
Yeah, just hit comments.
I have. Nothing's coming up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see them all. Do you want me to post?
If I can't see anything, so if there's anything, normally I just sort of kind of like say hello to everybody, and who we got in the house, Jay? Who can we say hello to? Because you can see it. Who can we say hello to?
We got Mayor, we got Zach Bonifer, Bonus Baby, Barry Monkey, and Slowpoke holding down the Twitch. We got Terrence Sullivan. We got that's only ones for now, but I know we got more people watching that are in the chat. So welcome everyone. I don't want anybody to feel left out. Welcome all.
Yes, welcome
today, so
welcome to the show, guys. And remember, leave us your thoughts on any of the stuff that we discussed today, because like I've always said, this show is what it is because you guys get involved. So leave us your comments on anything that we talk about. Now, I also want to say congratulations to Jimmy Jacobs, as he will be inducted into the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame, as well as Sue Young also, who will be inducted into the CCW Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame this year. So how cool is that? So we've got two. I, as far as I'm concerned, Sue Young is an Impact star, even though we haven't seen her for a while. God, where is she? Bring her back soon, Scott. It's great to see these guys getting recognized within the wrestling world. Of course, they're never going to get inducted into the WWE. Well, certainly not at the moment, unless they get signed at some point. But currently, they're not going to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. So it's great to see them getting recognized through lots of other different Hall of Fame, Wrestling Hall of Fame organizations. It's fantastic. So it's great to see that. And Sue and Jimmy fully deserve the praise that they get. I'm so glad that Jimmy Jacobs came to Impact Wrestling. He does an amazing job backstage. He's a producer. He is part of the creative process, part of the creative writing team. So he does a lot of stuff with him, and I know that he does other things as well. And of course, Sue speaks for herself, doesn't it? I mean, she's a legend. She's amazing. So she fully deserves that as well. So that's fantastic news to see that happen for her. We also had Eddie Edwards has re-signed a multi-year deal to stay with Impact Wrestling. Well, what did you think about this when you saw this one, Jay?
Oh yeah, I saw that. What was that? A few days ago when that came out. That's tremendous. He is, look, love him or hate him for whatever his storyline, whatever he's doing right now. But he is one of the pardon the pun, diehard members of this roster. He's as far as people currently on the roster, he's been on there the longest since well before the whole switcheroo with Don Callis and Scott D'Amore, switching over things from the old owners.
Yeah.
So that's been going on. I
believe he's entering his 8th year with Impact.
Right.
Yeah, that's amazing. And of course, I'm assuming when they say multi, we're probably talking another 2-year contract. So we're looking at probably 10 years that Eddie's going to be with Impact Wrestling. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely amazing.
He is one of the best. I mean, sometimes you forget how good he is, but I'm going to use another name, so you're just going to have to pardon me for a minute. I'm going to use because just as far as like well-rounded, he's pretty much like the John Moxley of this brand. I mean, he can do it all and has done it all, from like just a good wrestling gimmick to absolute maniac. And that's the highest praise I could give him. And he's definitely one of the best wrestlers on this, this roster. So,
without doubt. I mean, he's a GOAT. You know, he's at the end of the day, the dude is a locker room leader. Everybody loves Eddie. Whenever they talk about him, they always show him love. And you know, they respect him, and they talk to him about their matches, and he gives advice. You know, these are the sort of guys that are the backbone of a roster. You need these kind of guys. Your rhinos, you know, your rhinos, your Sammy Callahans, your Eddie Edwards. Like I say, you know, we've got a PCO in there now. You know, I mean, we've got some incredibly talented guys. I mean, even you're Brian Myers. You're Brian Myers. At the end of the day, these guys have got so much experience. They train some of the best guys in the business today. I mean, there's a classic. Brian Myers is probably got to be one of the best trainers in the world. You know, when it comes to some of the talent that he's got, most of his talent seems to end up at AEW. For God's sake, look at MGF. He's their champion, and he's trained. By Brian Myers.
He's definitely one of the top talents that came out of that school. So yeah, it's a great example. Whether you watch the brand or not, it's a great example. Whether you love
exactly.
So
it's great to have these guys. You know, like say, we know that Brian is committed to Impact as well recently. So we've got lots of talents now really starting to commit, which is great. I'm still on the fence because I still feel that as a brand, as a company, they need to start investing a bit more in some of this young talent. I mean, I can't believe, and we'll get on to Myron Reed in a little bit later, but I just can't believe he's not turned up at Impact Wrestling yet. You know, as soon as Myron become available, he should have been. You know, Scott should have been right. Myron, how can we get? He's the young goat. He's the young goat.
You talking about? Yeah, I misunderstood you. You said Myron Reed, formerly of MLW.
Yes, formerly. Okay. Yeah, Myron Reed, and of course, Rascal. You know, so he's got his connections. You know what I mean? He has his connections. There should be no reason why Myron Reed is not on Impact TV right now. But you know, the guy's like 23 years old. Why would you get this guy in? Get him now. Get him locked in. Let's get a program going with guys like that. You know, there's loads of them out there that we could be pulling in right now. But what's interesting is you've got Davey Richards coming up fairly soon. His contract's coming up fairly soon. So hey, if you know, Eddie's just signed a long-term deal, then you know, who knows? Maybe we could see Davey turn up as well. We could see a Wolves reunion, which would be pretty awesome. Because at the moment, the tag team division is looking pretty solid with your Motor City Machine Guns, you know, Ace and Ryder, the good hands. But obviously, we've got our new champions, which we'll talk about in a second. So, you know, imagine if we then brought in the Rascals, and then you've got Trey, Wentz, possibly even Wentz and Myron Reed. I mean, come on. You know, this roster could be stacked when it comes to tag team wrestling, whether it comes to X Division wrestling. It doesn't matter. These guys could come in and do an amazing job for Impact, and they could sign them up to multi-year deals. And that's what we need to happen. We get some more exciting new talent in there. So it's great. The you know, the pillars, we're going to talk about that in a second. I want to talk about the pillars in a bit, but it's great that some of the long-term guys are staying with the brand, but we need to start investing in some of these young talents now. We've seen, you know, Ace Bay, you know, coming up through the ranks now. Trey's doing fantastically well. Steve Macklin's doing really well. Obviously, we've got Josh Alexander, Jordan Gray. They're all doing amazing work. These guys came in 2 or 3 years ago, and they're now starting to peak. and be pretty awesome for the brand. So
I gotta ask your opinion on something. You're talking about Wentz being part of the Rascals on the indie scene. So, I'm not trying to make this an arguable point. I just want to hear just your point of view, because I know some people are still really down on him, like being anywhere right now. And right now, I feel like he's on a bit of a redemption journey. You know, because he was in a pretty good spot with Wesley in NXT, and then the controversial stuff happened. His marriage fell apart, and whatever happened, and that's neither here nor there. But so you're okay with him joining Impact Wrestling? I'm a little on the fence, but I'm more pro than con. I'll say that. What do you have to say about it?
What I say is this: what happens in people's private life has got nothing to do with me. I'm only interested in, what they can offer, the promotion, what they do as a wrestler. And again, none of us know in reality what goes on within people's relationships and marriages in their own private life. You hear stories. You've got his version, you've got his best mate's version, you've got her version, and extra. We had Kimberly on the show. I think Kimberly's a fantastic talent. I've got absolutely no problem with Kimberly coming back to Impact Wrestling, because at the end of the day, she knows her truth, he knows his truth, and none of that is any of our business.
Yeah, and if there was a serious issue with Zachary Wentz, look, I get it. The photo, he did a stupid photo. We all do stupid stuff in our youth. If you guys knew half of the stupid stuff I did in my youth, I'd be canceled. But
we've all been there and done stupid stuff.
We're not going to talk about that. So look, he's. If we actually thought that he was some kind of Hitler racist, he wouldn't be touring with the likes of a Myron Reed. He wouldn't be touring with the likes of a Trey Miguel.
Exactly.
He would be, and he wouldn't be tagging with Wesley and NXT. He'd be doing like some kind of neo-Nazi indie somewhere that no one ever watches. And no, he's not. He's all over the place. That's his family right now.
Yeah.
So that proves a point right there. It's kind of like the point of saying, oh, Hogan's racist. Well, how many people did he work for decades with in the business, and none of them ever called him racist? It's like,
no, exactly.
So, okay, so I just wanted to get your point on the whole Zachary Wentz thing. I feel like it's a good topic to discuss. It opens it up. People are going to love him. People are going to hate him. That's fine. Everyone's allowed their opinion. I just wanted to get yours. So, yeah, and I'm all for it,
I personally feel people should just worry about the wrestling, like back in the day, nobody knew what went on in people's private lives, but you just loved the wrestling. And that's that. I think sometimes that's what a lot of the fans these days forget about. They forget that at the end of the day, these guys are on the TV to entertain us. That's they're entertainers, they're sports entertainers at the end of the day. So what goes on in people's private lives is not really any of our business. And to be fair, like you said, we've all done stupid stuff when we were kids, or when we were younger, right? We've all done stupid stuff. It doesn't mean that we are bad people, or that, all of a sudden, like you say, we're neo-Nazis or anything like that. And of course, whatever went on in their marriage, if that's got nothing to do with us either. So just worry about the wrestling. That's what I say. Just worry about the wrestling.
That's right.
Of course, talking about, obviously, big news from this past week's Impact was that, of course, we now have new World Tag Team Champions, of course, with Ace and Bay Connection and the Bullet Club, defeating the Motor City Machine Guns in what I would say was an absolute epic main event last week. I love that main event, and I have to say, I think, Ace and Bay are going to be amazing tag champs for the next, hopefully, for the rest of the year, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on this, Jake?
Well, as soon as I saw that they were tagging in the tag league thing and got all the way up to the finals, I felt like that was going to be the best place to season them and have them get ready to come back to the States and do their thing, whether it's in Impact Wrestling, whether it's on New Japan Strong, whether it's, say, a local indie somewhere. And I think they are actually tagging in the indies as a
Yeah,
Bullet Club. And
yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't remember where, but it's like Sammy's show or something. Sammy
Wrestling
Callahan.
Revolver, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and that would make sense because he's got a lot of Impact and other independent people on there. I love Bay and I love Ace, and you put them together, they are both. You mentioned the word pillows, not pillows.
Pillars.
But
They're definitely part of the pillars.
the pillars of the roster, as far as young up and coming people that you can depend on in the future of this company. You put them together, it just makes them stronger as a unit. It keeps the Bullet Club. I know some people make fun of, oh, there's Bullet Club in Impact Wrestling. Oh, you can call it Bullet Club Light. It's like, no, man, Bullet Club's Bullet Club. You're going to have different patches all over the place. You got a little Bullet Club hanging out in WWE. It's kind of quiet right now. You got some in New Japan. You got some in Impact. It's one of the most powerful stables. It may be called something somewhere else. Still Bullet Club, because they all do the too sweet. It all means the same thing. Long story short, I love the fact that they're tag champs. They deserve it. They are two of the hardest working guys in this company. I love it.
I think they're amazing, and long may they reign. That's what I have to say on that. But again, let us know your thoughts in the chats, guys. Let us know what you think about these guys, because I think it's important. And again, you're right. I was literally about to mention David Finlay has joined the Bullet Club. Now, I'm not sure what the deal is there. I mean, he's not. Is he the leader? He's not the leader, surely.
He might be. Look, I've missed out on a lot of New Japan since Wrestle Kingdom. I saw the battle in the Valley. Great show. I saw a majority of it. I can't say I saw all of it, but I ordered it. It was $20. Can't beat that. So yeah, I don't know exactly all storylines. Who's in Chaos? Who's in Bullet Club? Who's in this? I know that Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. has the Mighty Don't Kneel. He's got the old tag team, and he's kind of like their leader. So I'm starting to catch up on a few things, but I know that Jay White, on his way out at Battle in the Valley, was attacked by David Finlay, and that I couldn't tell if people were just booing him or people were like, no, we just don't like this, period. I couldn't tell if it had go away heat. Or, I mean, he's incredibly talented. Don't get me wrong. I love David Finlay. He was a former tag champ in Impact with Juice. Yeah. And so, but he's tremendous. We got to wait and see how it's slowly, there's change. You got to wait and see what it does. So,
yeah, I mean, I just would have thought that a new leader would have probably emerged from what they already have, like a Kenta or, or someone like that. I guess, I mean, I don't know what Kenta's English is like. So, but, there's got to be.
It's not horrible. It's okay.
But I mean, he's a badass. You know what I mean? Like, someone like that, I would have thought would have sort of kind of like emerged. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Bone Soldier. I don't know. We haven't seen Bone Soldier yet in Impact. That's what I want to see. I want the Bone Soldier in Impact Wrestling. That would be cool. And of course, we know that is a former Impact Wrestling talent as well. So it would be cool to have him, come back, wouldn't it? It would be really cool.
We love the Bone Soldier. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been about 5 years since he's been around the X Division.
Exactly. So can you imagine? I don't understand why we haven't seen him yet, because he, to me, like, that's a perfect, to me, that would be a perfect person to bring in because the crowd are going to go get excited, aren't they? You know, that's my thoughts. Now, the other thing I was going to talk about was Impact debuted a new black and white entrance for PCO this past week on Impact as well. Now, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I like this. Like, I really like the Lady Frost one that they did. You know, with the whole, you know, blowing out the snowflakes. You know, and having all that silvery twinkle stuff around her and all that on the screen. I like that. I thought that was quite different.
Yeah.
But I think this is absolutely fucking amazing. This whole black and white thing, because obviously his whole entrance thing was black and white anyway, and the fact that they then go black and white on your TV. I don't know what it looks like in the arena. I'd be interested to see what they do to try and create a similar feel actually in the arena as well. But obviously they change it to black and white on our screen. And I thought it was really cool. I really liked it. I think
it has to do with like the classic Frankenstein black and
of course,
white,
the Hammer horror
monster.
Yeah, the Hammer horror thing going on. I thought it was brilliant. I spoke to PCO this week as well, and because we communicate sometimes on Messenger, and I said to him, I thought it was so cool, and he's like, mate, there's so much more to come. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, so apparently there's some more things to be added to this. So you know, and I think the internet seems to have gone a little bit crazy for it as well. They seem, you know, everyone seems to love this new entrant. I mean, everyone loves PCO anyway. Let's face it, everyone loves PCO, but I think they're really showcasing him, and I think it's very cool, very cool. I really like it. I'd like them to do stuff like this with others. I think you could do something like this with some of the other guys as well. You know, try and create that kind of interaction through doing something on the TV when they come out. It's all part of the production value that you get, which is that you get on TV that maybe you don't get in the arena. Do you know what I mean? Gives you that little something extra.
I mean, you got to be a little careful with it. You can't overdo it because you got to remember. So, like PCO has his thing, Crazy Steve, and their part of Decay kind of have their thing. Like Trey Miguel's got his cool thing in the intro with the spray paint. So then he's a kind of a heel badass. So it's a little bit comic booky in a good way. So there's a lot of different things, but you got to be careful with how much you do it. That's all I'm saying.
See, there's the thing. This is my thought process with Trey Miguel. You see, this is why I want to see the Rascals. This is why I want to see Wentz and Myron Reed joining, because the last time we had the Rascals, it was comedic. It was light relief. It was fun, and I think actually that's probably why they never ended up with like a tag title or anything like that. I think it's because they were a little bit of a comedy act to a degree. But I would like to see. I would like to see a heel version of the Rascals, because I think the way Trey is now, I think he's at his best at the moment, sort of kind of healing it up a little bit. You start adding in the rest of the Rascals, and you can have a pretty badass heel faction with these guys. We all know that Myron can go quite heely. We know that obviously Zach can go quite heely. So I think, and with Trey now as well. I mean, I watched Wrestling Revolver show probably about 2 or 3 pay-per-views back, when there was somebody giving Myron a load of grief from the crowd, and Trey literally went badass on this guy. I'd like to see that version of Trey Miguel in Impact Wrestling with his brothers. I think you would see a completely different side to the Rascals if they did that, and I think people would love it. I think they would love it. They'd be down for it.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. And to be honest, and you gotta do a little searching for this, because they actually, at one point when they were all like the original Rascals all together in Impact Wrestling, and it was goofy, it was comical. But while they were doing that in AAW, Trent's the company that Trent works in out of Chicago. That indie company, they were heels at one point, and they were like screaming mad, and trying to go after the tag titles, and I don't remember if they had them or what, but yeah, so they do have experience in doing that. It's rare, but it's out there, so they could do it again. I'd love to see
think
that.
so. I think a heel Rascals would be amazing in Impact Wrestling. I really do. I mean, could you imagine the Rascals going for tag gold against against Ace and Bay? Oh my God!
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That'd be on fire, bro. That'd be on fire.
It would be amazing, absolutely amazing. And Myron Reed in the X Division as well. I mean, come on. Incredible stuff. I mean, it'd just be incredible. And again, with the three of them, you could have that whole Freebird rule thing going on, so which would work really, really well too. And I like all of that. I mean, even if one of them gets injured, then the other one gets in the tags in kind of thing. So that it's kind of, I don't know. I think there is a real shot that they could do a great job as a heel team. I can see it. I really, really can. Now, talking about great jobs, talking about good stuff, our good friend George Barbosa, his new season of The Diary continues with a look at, of course, former Knockouts champion Jordan Grace. Now, Jane, I don't know whether you've seen this already. It's 25 minutes, and I have to say, right, again, it is a fantastic 25 minutes of documentary. Really good.
I did see it. I did see it yesterday, right after it premiered. Yeah.
I advise anybody that hasn't seen it yet, get yourselves on YouTube and get watching it. Or it's not on. Is it on Impact Plus as well? Because I'm not subscribed to that anymore. I'm not on yet, but I've got Ultimate Insider on YouTube now.
I'm not on Impact Plus either. I just go to ImpactWrestling.com for like news and event stuff and rosters updates. But no, it's on the Impact YouTube channel for those that aren't in Canada and don't have the Fight Network. Don't feel like it's only Canada seeing this. No, you can see it on the YouTube channel. It's there.
Really good.
We support George Barbosa's stuff fully. In fact, we've loved his stuff even in the last season, which it's a little outdated. He had specials on like Brian Cage, LAX and stuff like that on there, but still the content is tremendous. I put it up against anything that like WWE is doing, and they're usually the kings of doing really good documentary stuff. George Barbosa ranks right up there. If you have not seen this, it's insanely well edited. Okay, it's not just some dude sitting in front of a camera talking for 20 minutes. No, it's backstage footage. It's other people supporting, whatever the subject person is.
I mean, you had Gail Kim on there. John Gresham was on there, which you would expect, wouldn't you? I think it was Deanna Purrazzo was on there as well, talking about Jordan. And, what I thought was cool about it was the fact that they didn't shy away from what I would say is probably the most important part when it comes to Jordan's development over the past 4 or 5 years is, this whole kind of, the body confidence thing, going into powerlifting. They talked about all of that. They talked about the problems that she had with, idiots online. And it talks about how she handled all of those things. And I think that it speaks volumes for her as a person, how she handled all of that stuff. And I think when you watch this documentary, you realize actually what this girl went through and, how well she handled it. And you sort of kind of forget about some of the silly little bits, some of the silly Twitter, the tweets that she made, the comment about, obviously, Chris Benoit, and all those kind of things. You forget about all of that stuff and you start to realize like how difficult it probably was for her at the time, because for her, it was like, well, hang on a minute, anyone can say what the fuck they like about me and there's no repercussions. I say something and everyone jumps all over me. It's kind of like, and that makes sense to me. The Twitter is so so fickle. It can be great. It can be really, really great, but it can also be really awful. And she's seen both sides of it, and you know, she acknowledged that if I want to be, if I want to be involved, if I want to be part of this kind of social media type thing, this revolution of pushing me, then I have to take the good with the bad, or I take the bad and I make it good. You know, that's what I got from it. What I got from it was she took the bad stuff and actually turned it into good for her. Like, so she ended up financially gaining out of all sorts with the book that she did and all sorts of stuff like that. You know, I love the bit where they were interviewing John Gresham, and he's like, yeah, she sort of like said, look at this, and there's a dick pic, and she's like, I'm gonna try and find this guy's wife. You know, he's married. It's disgusting. I'm gonna try and find this guy's wife. You know, and all this kind of stuff. And I just think to myself, you know what? That's exactly what she should do. Like, you're right. You know, you look at this dude and you're like, bloody hell, mate, you're married with 2 kids and you're sending me a picture of your dick. Come on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they put up with some horrible stuff, but Jordan Grace's story is a great way of, like you said, of how to deal with it. You know, you stay strong with a good mental headspace. Mental health headspace, I should say. And just watching how, I mean, she started at 14, for crying out loud. That's insanely young.
yeah.
You know, most people say, hey, wait till you're out of high school, then go for whatever. Some people start during high school. She obviously started way, early high school.
Yeah, I mean, she did say in there, I don't condone people starting at 14.
Right. She did say that, yeah.
She did.
It's and I've talked about this on TNI. I've talked about it on my own podcast, Cheap Plug. It just how Jordan Grace has transformed herself since she first joined Impact Wrestling into the knockout she is now. I mean, I was a fan of her back when she first joined because I saw some of her indie stuff.
Yeah.
But now she's transformed herself into, she's a power lifter. She's a 2-time knockouts women's champion for Impact Wrestling. She's gone all over the world.
She's a triple crown. She's a triple crown, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, sort of knockout tag team, and she was a digital media champion.
Right. So yeah, she's done so much, and she's really become a positive influence to those around her in the Knockouts locker room, and so far beyond that into the world of wrestling, helping fans with their mental health. And she's big on the whole body shaming thing, to where, you know, no matter who you are or what kind of body you have, you're beautiful.
Exactly.
Know? And that's huge. You know, whether you like wrestling or not, just the fact that she does that for people is huge.
Huge. It is huge. It's amazing. So, guys, we've done enough selling of it. So get your ass onto YouTube and watch Diary. Jordan Grace. It's really, really good. If you're not seeing it yet, it is really good. Well worth 25 minutes of anybody's time. Oh, yeah. Now, I don't know whether this was a one-off or not, but it looks like Ring of Honor will be competing with Impact for Thursday Night Supremacy. Is this a one-off, or is this going to be going forward that Ring of Honor is going to be on a Thursday night?
It might be, but they're putting it on their own service on the Honor Club. They don't have a TV deal, so it's on their way. It's the Honor Club is like Impact Plus. You know, it's their streaming service. So it goes up on a Thursday.
And you can watch it whenever you like.
Right. So I don't call it. I mean, yeah, anything is competition, but I'm not going to call it like a Thursday night fight thing, kind of like how WWE's NXT was going up against AEW. I don't consider it that. I'm just like, hey, if you're a fan of Ring of Honor, hey, great. I love Ring of Honor too. I like all sorts of wrestling, but I don't have the Honor Club, so I'm gonna have to see like how it's going, and I'll try to catch it when I can. But I'm not gonna be like, oh guys, I'm out. Ring of Honor's on Thursday nights now. Sorry. No, I'll be staying here, on Thursday
Good
nights.
boy. That's what I like. Okay. So, and also earlier this week, we got Will Ospreay take shots at Scott D'Amore, giving him 2 weeks to change his mind on offering him up Mike Bailey as his opponent at Multiverse United pay-per-view. Now, this is interesting because I look back through it and I think Mike Bailey's faced Will a couple of times and lost both times. So I think that's what he's talking about. He's saying, why are you giving me someone that I can easily beat? Or that I've beaten already. I think that's what it's about. So he's saying, look, so I think we might see Mike Bailey beat Will Ospreay at Multiverse United. I got a funny feeling. Third time lucky for Mike Bailey. But I like the way that Will, he was calling him out on a backstage segment of Strong, I believe it was. He's been calling him out on social media. He's been promoting Impact Wrestling. It's been good, really good. I like the way he said, I still got beef. It might have been a different back room back then, but I still got beef with Impact Wrestling. On that UK tour, you treated me like shit. So I liked it. And you know what? I want him to go and study because he's got the right accent. He's got almost the right delivery to do almost a Tom Hardy type impression as his character. If you listen to him, if you listen to Will Ospreay, he sounds like he has a Tom Hardy-esque sound to his delivery.
Okay.
And I would love it if he was, actually, because he's not renowned for being the great promo guy. He's not renowned for it, but he is getting better. But I think if he was to watch a bit of Tom Hardy and try and channel Tom Hardy into his wrestling character, I think he's got something. He would have something, definitely. I don't know if you saw the promo he did face to face with Kenny Omega. Did you see that one?
Yeah, that one I saw. That was pretty cool.
That was very, very good. And again, very Tom Hardy-esque. I don't know if anyone else sees that. Let me know what you think in the chat. Do you see a little bit of Tom Hardy in Will Ospreay's delivery?
That's interesting. I never thought of it that way. But okay, all right.
I pick up on stuff like that because I'm a big Tom Hardy fan, and I definitely see it. I definitely see it. The whole kind of very similar. He could go very similar to the route of. Have you seen the film Legend?
Yes.
Where Tom plays the Cray brothers, the Cray twins.
Oh no, that one I've seen clips of it, but I've never seen it. Okay, I was thinking you meant like
he's very Reggie. He could go very Reggie. In my opinion, he could go very Reggie Cray style in that Will Ospreay. He really could.
I thought you meant the Will Smith version.
No, not bloody Will Smith. That's I Am Legend, isn't it?
Oh, that's yeah.
He ain't a badass. He just slaps people. He's a pussy. He's a woman. He slaps people around the face. What's that about? What is that about? Come on, don't. Jesus.
You want to see something funny? Go check out Chris. Go check out Chris Rock's new Netflix special. He goes into the whole thing. It's actually, I've seen clips. It's hilarious. So, anyways.
Yeah, I've seen clips of that. It's on. Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
I think it's on Netflix. Yeah. But yeah, Will Smith. Yeah, that's Will Smith, baby. But there you go. Now, also, we had Steph DeLander post a cryptic tweet regarding a bag of money in Impact Wrestling. Now, I don't know if you saw this one yesterday. It popped up yesterday. I caught it, and I retweeted it saying, literally, has she signed? I don't know. I don't know. It was certainly a hint. I'm wondering whether she's hinting that she wants to come to Impact Wrestling, but come on, give us the right deal. Or
say that again. She tweeted what?
She did like a cryptic tweet, which was it was talking about the International Women's Day thing going on. I think celebrating International Women's Day. But there was a bit at the bottom which said something along the lines of, so it mentioned Scott D'Amore, and then it talked about bags of money, and then at Impact Wrestling underneath it. So I don't know. I don't know what that was about. Whether it was a hint that she signed, or whether she's trying to tell Impact Wrestling she wants to sign, but you might want to up the offer a little bit. I don't know what she's trying to do there, but it seems that she's obviously trying to say something. I don't know whether anyone in the chat saw it. Let us know your thoughts. We'll pop them up. So you didn't see it then, Jay?
No, I didn't see the tweet, but she is, when she came in and the matches she had with Impact Wrestling, I can't wait till she returns. I really do think she's going to.
I think so too. I think she signed. I think that it was a case of there was maybe she couldn't even make the next set of tapings or something because she had other commitments or whatever. But she turned up on AEW Dark, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, woo. What's she doing?" And now a lot of people are saying like, why did Impact invest in a promo package before she came on? Why did they let her do a where I'm putting the Knockouts on Notice promo before her first match? However, and then effectively she did that and then basically had her ass handed to her by Jordan Grace. Then goes off and has a match on BTI with Deanna Purrazzo, and then gets her ass handed to her again. So I don't really know what they're doing with her. I don't really know. I think she's a great fit for Impact Wrestling. She reminds me of Taya.
I think it was more of a tryout than anything. Like, hey, all right, we'll give you a mic and we'll just, give you a few seconds to spit your stuff. But
then why give her a big promo? They give her an introduction promo, didn't they? Next week, Steph DeLander will be on Impact Wrestling. And they, made her look amazing and all that kind of stuff. Do you not remember that?
No, I remember that. It's... You got to start out humble. You got to earn your stuff. So,
I agree.
Hey, we're gonna feature you. You're gonna lose, but give us the best that you got. And I feel like she did. I mean, it wasn't a squash. She showed us what she's capable of, and I feel like it's like watching Jessica Havoc come in. And if she's not part of anything and she goes through and she gets a couple losses, but it's like, whoa, let's get her signed. I compare it to that. So I understand how it'd be like, oh, she got squashed. No, it's not.
She didn't get squashed. No, I'm not saying she got squashed, but the fact that she had 2 matches and lost both of them, even though she was giving it the Billy Big Balls, and they effectively sort of kind of pushed the fact that she was coming in. To me, it was a bit of an anticlimax because they gave it a push. She got to do a promo and then she just lost twice.
Yeah, I hear you, but the matches were good, and I think they also want to see like how the fans react too. I think that's part of it. So
and the fans liked her.
Yeah, they're like, "Whoa, who's this?" I mean, she's a monster of a knockout, so I can't wait. And I call her a knockout because I firmly believe she will be back.
Yeah, so do I. I do believe that, definitely.
So just like I'll say it once, I'll say it a million times. Just be patient.
Yeah, we always say that. We're always saying that. It's one of my most said words on Twitter to fans when they're always going on about, Impact needs to do more, need to bring in this person, need to bring in that. Anyway. The pre-order for Hard to Kill DVDs is now open, and it's on shopimpact.com. I'm not really into DVDs, but guys, if you're in DVDs, get over there, get it pre-ordered. It's a hell of a pay-per-view, so if you're into your DVDs, well worth getting that pre-ordered and getting that out to you as soon as it's ready to go out. Are you going to order one, Jay?
I'm not much of a DVD collector, but hey, I'll share it around.
Yeah, definitely.
There are guys like Trent who are more of a completist as far as when it comes to that particular kind of merch.
Yeah, they love that sort of stuff.
And once in a while, they'll put out like a VHS of something.
Yeah, Trent bought both of those, didn't he?
I believe he did. I know he was talking about it. So yeah, we'll see.
Okay. So, and I'm also liking the way that literally on a weekly basis now, Shop Impact are effectively bringing out new T-shirts constantly. We're getting more and more merch, and I think that is a great thing. I think that's a great thing. I don't know whether they do Blu-rays. I didn't really notice. I know they were just advertising the fact that the DVD was now on pre-order. So I'm not sure, Slipo, to be honest. Well, worth going and checking out and finding out.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be high quality. So.
Oh yeah, it will be. It'll be quality, definitely, without doubt. And I'm sure there'll be some sort of special edition photographs in there or something. There'll be something. Now, Sacrifice has now only got general admission bleacher seat tickets available in Windsor, obviously at the Sinclair's Comet. I think that's pretty cool. And actually, it's not just for Sacrifice, it's also for the tapings. There's no lower tier front, second, third row stuff, tickets left. There's no VIP stuff. There's no titanium stuff. All that's left now is general admission in the bleachers for both nights.
Oh, and those bleachers are going to be absolutely packed. It's been a long time since they've been there, but that place is great. They will pack that place and they will sell it out. And because those fans are hungry for some Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, they definitely are. Now, the reason I wanted to put that there is because I also wanted to talk about the state of Impact so far in 2023 as a subject. Now, for me, I think that this has been the best year or the best start to a year that Impact have had for many years now. You know, they've basically sold out everywhere they're going. They're selling out everywhere they go. But the specials or the pay-per-views are selling out. They're coming very, very close, if not selling out on the night. The TV tapings as well. So they are doing an absolutely amazing job at the moment of selling out their shows, which of course they were not doing at the start of last year. So. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting. What are your thoughts on the state of Impact at the moment?
Oh, just the fact that they're starting to go international again, and people are like, "Well, why can't they go here? Why can't they go there?" Look, it's not as easy as it was before the pandemic. It's not. It's as simple as that. It takes a lot more precaution and a lot more planning. It's not just, "Hey, let's get everybody, let's get up, let's get going." You can't do that no more. You know, and it sucks. It's easier for like, okay, well, let's send over a couple people to this place and promote Impact Wrestling for maybe a future tour. You know, single person, single knockout here and there.
Yeah.
But to ship everyone over, that's, you know, it's not as easy as it would be if it was like a bigger company like WWE. They just don't have the budget. So is it going to happen? Yeah, probably will, but it's going to take some time, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with you. I think it's, you know, people need to be patient. There's that word again. Be patient, because we're getting there.
Yeah.
We are 100% getting there. So I think we're in a good place. I think the fact that we're selling out these venues is great news. They clearly found the markets that they're going to go to over the year. You know, and that was all found out last year. They found their markets, and they're the ones that they're going to hit and make sure that they push and promote. And I think in the moment it's going really, really well. So I'm really happy with it. I was going to talk about Impact Plus Main Event Mondays, which I think is an absolute waste of time. You know, and I can't see that even pulling anybody in, but to sign up to Impact Plus. I know what it's for. I can't see that doing anything for me. But there you go. So, Jay, let's quickly go through tomorrow night, because I know that you haven't got long. I know you've got to go in a sec. So, we need to get through and close out the show, I guess. So let's see where we can go with it. So we've got Sting and Shearer versus Swan and Kazarian on BTI. That's the BTI match. I think that's looking pretty good. What do you think?
Oh, just the fact that Kazarian is back with Impact Wrestling is always a win. So I can't wait to see it.
Definitely. We've then got on Impact Wrestling itself, we've got Gresham versus Kushida. Now that is must have any wrestling fan salivating. They must be dribbling for this one because I think this is going to be an incredible match. I'm looking forward to this big time. What are your thoughts on this one?
If that's not headlining the episode, then I don't know what is. But I mean, I'm indifferent. You know, just give me a good match. But it's the only thing I think that's holding it back from being like a match of the year is going to be like TV time. But
Agreed.
man, I'd say put this on a pay-per-view, but I think it's going to be leading to something else. We got to wait. I think it's going to be leading to something bigger down the road at the
Rebellion.
No, not Rebellion. The one at Mania weekend. The multiverse
of United.
That's it. Yeah, I think it's going to lead to something there. Probably a multi-man match is my guess. You know.
Yeah, so, you never know. Maybe Time Machine, and versus Gresham. Well, it ain't going to be Bailey, is it? Because he's against Ospreay. So I don't know. But Gresham and Bailey, Christ, they first time tag team a couple of weeks ago. Good Lord.
Oh yeah, insane.
That was an amazing match. So we've also got Giselle Shaw versus Mickie James in a Knockouts title match. Do you know what? I'm indifferent on this one. I think this is just a case of let's give Mickie James something to do because obviously Giselle Shaw is not going to win the Knockouts title. But, you know, hey-ho, it'll probably be a good match because, you know, Giselle is a very good wrestler, as is Mickie James.
Giselle Shaw's got some numbers on her side, though, and she definitely has – I think she's definitely turned some heads since she first came in because, you know, she was put in a few different groups. Those groups, sadly, I mean, it's kind of a joke.
She's a Black Widow. She's a Black Widow of the Knockouts, though, isn't she?
She is, yeah. Like everything she's touched is like, you know, fizzled out. You know,
gone to shit.
But now she's got Savannah Evans backing her now, which I think it's new. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's can be a tremendous asset for her. Jay Vidal is smarter than you think. He's not just a fashion guru. I think he's going to have a hand in this too. We just got to wait and see what they do.
Talking about Jay Vidal, you need to go and check out my interview with him that I did a couple of weeks ago. Because Jay, very good, real nice. He was a nice guy. It's a nice interview. Go and check it out if you can. It's in our interview section of the channel. But we've also got Callahan versus Rhino. It's a step 6 initiation to the design. Interestingly enough, obviously, before this match kind of got set up, you know, they were Angels, Dina and Khan, or Angels and Khan were trying to persuade Dina that Callahan is trying to pull the wool over their eyes and all that kind of stuff, which I'm pretty sure is what's going on. Or Callahan's trying to take over the faction, possibly. I don't know. But something is clearly not right here. They can see it, but can Dina? I don't know. I don't know where Dina really wants to bring Callahan in, I think. So he's trying to get him through the process of becoming part of the design. I don't know. Are we eventually going to get something happen, which, you know, turns Callahan away from the dark side and continue back to become a tweener again? Because we like him as a tweener.
Well, Callahan is an amazing mind in the world of wrestling. We can't forget that. He's not just getting brainwashed. He's going to do something to tear apart or attempt to, or you got to use the words attempt to because it's not a guaranteed thing. He's going to try to tear apart the design from the inside out.
I agree.
And it's going to have those three guys at each other sooner rather than later, trying to figure out what Callahan is all about. And
totally.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the rest of it because
I still think this is perfectly set up for an OVE return. Do you not? It's perfectly set up for Fulton and Jake Crist to come in and basically buy Sammy's side, or even if it's not an OVE, some kind of wrestling revolver thing of some kind. I don't know, but he's got so many people he could bring in. But for me, Jake is in the best form of his life right now. He needs to be on TV because he's way better than he was the last time he was on TV. He is so good right now.
Yeah,
Impact need to bring him back. He needs to bring him back.
Yeah.
But we'll have to. I mean, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see how it all pans out. We've got tomorrow night. We've got a couple of more weeks before we hit Sacrifice. I'm looking forward to what we've got coming. I think it's going to be some great matches. I'm loving what they're doing at the moment, apart from the Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray stuff. But I don't even want to talk about it because it upsets me, and I start going on my beefalo, and I can't be dealing with that right now. We ain't got time for it, Jay. That's the thing. We ain't got time. I could go on for a long time about this crap. No, I'm not gonna do it. But guys, I think that's just about all we've got time for this week, guys. But don't forget to tune into the TNI Impact review show tomorrow night, live on YouTube and Twitch, directly after Impact has aired on Access TV, Fight Network in Canada, Impact Plus, YouTube Insider, and of course, the latest, the Zone, or whatever it is, DAZN. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but never mind.
It's the Zone. Yeah.
It is the Zone, isn't it? Please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for any extra exclusive content when you guys sign up. And of course, join our Discord, where we pretty much talk about everything Impact and or wrestling related, as well as movies and other sports and even other promotions. Well worth getting involved in that. And if you miss Uncle Mark, that's where he is. Go and check him out.
Oh, yeah.
All TNI shows are available to all of you Listen on the Go fans as audio only by SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and wherever you listen to your favourite shows. We are there. Where can we find the Mr. Bone Daddy on the social media? Where can we find you, buddy?
You can find me at on the Twitter box at JBone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150. You can also find me on that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast, where apparently cats are invading, and it's all happening. It's actually, there's not much happening right now. I don't think I've had a podcast in like a week. I've been so busy with work, but I am here, and you will see me tomorrow night on the Total Nonstop Impact.
There you go. And of course, guys, don't forget, I haven't apologized yet because I don't know where Joe is. So he's around somewhere. And I'm sure we'll get to speak to him at some point to find out what's going on.
We just hope he's
And of
okay.
course, Steve, we hope he's okay. And of course, Steve is still unwell, but he is on the mend. I have spoken to him. He's on the mend, guys. So don't worry. I'm sure in the next, certainly within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we will be seeing Steve back on our screens. He's on the mend. He's doing better. Of course,
Steve
if you're interested in finding,
I was just going to say,
Yeah, go
please
on.
keep Steve in your thoughts and prayers because he needs them right now.
definitely,
We want him, him back.
He's a good guy, and he deserves to be fit and well and enjoying his life. And fingers crossed. I'm 100% confident. I've spoken to him. He's doing fine. He's doing well. He's on the mend. So hopefully we'll see him very, very soon. If you're interested in finding out more, of course, about the Lord Bison himself, then don't forget you can check me out on the Twitter at Lord Bison. Look, right there, I'm pointing to it. At Lord Bison 45 on the Twitter sphere. I am there. Come and check me out. Give me a follow. And of course, don't forget to follow at We Talk Impact on Twitter, on Instanet, on the Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, wherever. That's where we are. So go and make sure that you check that out, guys. It's really important. And please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what the content that we're giving you, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget, obviously, to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, and, of course, a smash to never miss any of the TNI UK and US teams' great content coming out each and every week. With all that said, I've been Bison, and that has been J-Bone, the 5150, the Bone Daddy. And this has been episode 123 of Impacted. Take care, guys.
Yeah! We're Bison!